Hello my friends! Since Metroidvanias are my favorite type of games, I'm always on the lookout for new releases, and I've accumulated quite a list of games that are just waiting to be talked about. So today, I'll be going through my most anticipated releases and, in my humble opinion, the top 10 best upcoming Metroidvanias. Before we get into it, I want to put a little disclaimer that most of these games are still in development, so things that I'm talking about in this video are subject to change. Let me start by mentioning Silksong. Yes, I'm hyped about it, but considering you're watching this video, you've probably already heard about it, so let's get into some that you might have not heard about as much. The first game I'd really like to get into is Aeterna Noctis, which is coincidentally also the game releasing the earliest out of all of the games on the list. It's set to release on the 15th of December, which at the point of recording this video is just a week away. Aeterna Noctis is said to be a massive game with no less than 16 interconnected areas. It's labeled as a Souls-like with progressively scaling difficulty system, so prepare to run into some challenging combat with this one. Looking at the trailer, we've got some interesting movement abilities that can probably make for both exciting and frustrating platforming sections, and I can't wait to rage about it. The game has a defined path for storytelling progression, which at its core is, I guess, your traditional story of good and evil, with a Queen of Light and a King of Darkness stuck in an eternal battle. However, your journey there can take you on forking paths as a classic Metroidvania should. I'll personally be playing this on the day it releases, so stop by my Twitch channel if you want to see more about the game. And next is the game that inspired me to create this video, because there's just not enough people that know about this beautiful, intricate game. Savior just looks so epic to me, with gorgeous pixel art and combat that looks like nothing I've ever seen, with many different combos, dodges, and attacks. You play as Sam, who finds herself in the middle of a war between the Chosen and the Fallen, two societies divided for centuries. The trailer alone makes us feel like a game with so much depth to it, like it has deep lore for both the past and the present. The world seems living, with shopkeepers and craftsmen to save for your later benefit, opponents that need convincing before they join your cause. Sadly, no date of release has been set for Savior yet. If you had asked me when I was young, playing Super Metroid and having Aliens and Predator as my all-time favorite movie franchises, how the Metroid series would look 20 years from now, then I probably would have thought that this next game would be close to that mark. Moadra is a beautifully stylized science fiction heavy Metroidvania where you play as Moadra, an alien soldier investigating the loss of contact with an expedition that landed on a long lost planet only to suddenly go quiet. The game promises, to my detriment, cruel and multi-phase boss battles, as well as a free-form character upgrade system. It also has an X-ray vision, which feels reminiscent of the scanner back in Metroid Prime, telling you more about the world around you. The vibe of this game is really doing it for me like no other, and if this has an environmental storytelling, it's going to boost up the top 10, no doubt. Next up, we have a game which art style just seems like it was made for me. I'm talking about 9 Years of Shadows. You play as Europa and her childhood companion Apino as they venture into a corrupted castle to find the roots of its curse and return color to every object and living creature in the world. Switch to elements of fire, water, and earth to counter foes you meet along your way as you collect musical notes that can improve your abilities. Overall, this game just won me over with how gorgeous the protagonist is, and the fact that not much is known about it just makes me anticipate it so much more. Up next is Rune Fencer Illyia, an upcoming pixel art Metroidvania with a heavy focus on exploration and combat, where you play as, you guessed it, Rune Fencer Illyia, as she tries to locate her missing sister in a strange world. With 15 distinct areas and many trinkets to create your own combat build, and over 100 different recipes for crafting and cooking, this game seems to just continue on in a massive experience, and I have this feeling that there's so much more to this game than what lets on. I'm trying to not get too high expectations with this one, but it's hard to hold back my imagination of how much depth this game will actually have. Rune Fencer Illyia is set to release in 2022. Are you a fan of dark and gothic themes? Love to have an abundance of weapons to choose from and magic to combine them with? Then what's up next will probably be a game for you. The Last Faith just has that gothic horror vibe to it, with horrendous beasts and demons around every corner, cathedrals falling to the abominations within them, an ancient religion ruling the dark of it all. This game is giving me strong blasphemous vibes, and considering how well loved that game is, this game is up for a great start. And next is Crowsworn. Now this game right here is for all the badasses out there. You're playing as a plague doctor looking scythe wielding man slaying monsters in a forsaken land, trying to retrace your steps and regain your lost memory. Oh, is a scythe not for you? Well, you've also got a pistol with a freaking bayonet. Also, I think this is a good time to just take a moment to listen to the soundtrack. The game itself features some interesting boss battles, what looks to be an RPG-style talent system, and some fast platforming that is sure to give me the thrill I'm seeking when a platformer is just so fast and so smooth. The art style is gorgeous, and I'm sure you can appreciate the hand-drawn perfection of it, even if the darker theme is not your usual cup of tea. As of this time, Crowsworn does not have a set release date, but it's available for wishlisting on Steam. Next up we have Souldiers, with a soundtrack that makes me think winter is coming. This game has recently swept onto my radar. With a release set to spring of 2022, this game seemingly wants to focus on replayability, as you may choose one of 3 soldiers to complete the journey with. And to play with any of the other heroes, you need to start a new playthrough completely, making this a unique journey depending on who you pick. The story is set in Terra Gaia, a mystical land representing the afterlife, where you're stuck until you locate the guardian that will help you move on to the next world.
Whatever your choice, your quest will lead you through Terra Gaia magnificent landscapes. Soldiers.
And last but not least, we have a Ratoidvania. Yeah, they pitch it like that themselves. In this game, your crew has all been turned into rats by an evil witch, and we're here for revenge. With 4 playable characters and the option to play co-op, this is sure to be a Metroidvania unlike any other. This game has different abilities to unlock for every character, multiple endings, and a plethora of secrets. You'll have to fight dangerous bosses on your journey through this 18th century Ireland to regain your human bodies. I mean, I'm sure the bosses are hard, but I'll probably find a way to cheese it. You get it? It's rats. Never mind. So those are my most anticipated upcoming Metroidvanias. If you're interested in any of the games that I listed today, you can find the links to their Steam page down below the video. If you hadn't heard about some of them before, please consider leaving a like on the video. If you want to see me play through them when they're finally released, come check me out at my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Taya. Or if you're interested in more Metroidvania news and other related videos, subscribe to the channel down below. That's it from me. Bye everyone.